Hi everyone, this is Sandy Create the Heart, and today I'm sharing my project for the Not Too Shabby Shop Fall Blog Hop. This is the blog hop that we are doing for the past and current members of the design team. I was a past member. My project is going to be, I'm going to make 3 cards actually. My projects for the first 2 cards are going to use Fall Love, which is my absolute favorite of last year's collections, as well as Easy Wonder die number 2 add-on. I'm going to use that oval die, and then I'm using this background stamp set. If the items that I'm showing are available, I'm going to go ahead and link them in the description box below so you can check it out along with everybody else who's participating in the hop. You can also do the playlist and it will show everybody who's participating. So I use that background stamp 2 different ways. So the first one I think I'm going to do is that one that's there on top. So this card, I actually embossed that stamp set in gold. So I did some gold embossing. And then I took a couple of colors of Distress Oxide ink. I think I used one of the yellows. I forget which one it's called. Scattered Straw, I think. And then I used the Marmalade. I forget what the actual color is, but it's that orange. I think it's called Marmalade. And I used that on there right over the gold embossing. And then I splattered some white ink on top of it. And I really like how that came out. And so one of the other things that I did was I took a piece of the ephemera and actually cut it apart. So I cut that butterfly right out of that piece of ephemera. And then the little straw pieces, I don't know what they are going to be kind of poking out of the side of the oval. And so you always can cut apart your ephemera. So the little girl I'm going to use, I actually cut around her. I wanted less of a border, so I cut that white border off so it's a little bit less of a border. That's just the look I was going for. So you could always alter your ephemera. And then here is that oval. I absolutely love Fall Love. It's my absolute favorite. I think paper and ephemera from last year. I have some different stamp sets I really liked, but as far as the paper and ephemera, I absolutely love it. The colors are beautiful. The ephemera is just perfect. I really love it. I've been hoarding every little piece of it. So I've got the little girl and then the butterfly on some foam, and then that sentiment was pieced together using a stamp set from Lawn Fawn. So there's that first card. And last time I looked, it was still available. So, I mean, I love it. So this other one I stamped in black, and you can see I have a little smudge there, but it's going to get covered up, so no worries. I actually colored this in with my Copics. It gave it kind of a whimsical sort of look to it. I think it's kind of fun. And so I am going to glue that down. And then I'm also using an oval from the add-on. So that add-on die is just a great all-around die. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. So these 2 cards have the same layout, but they have a completely different look, I think. So I did the same thing with the girl from the first card. I did cut that border down a bit because I didn't want so much white showing. And so you always can alter that ephemera, get different looks out of it. So I'm going to put that girl right there in the middle, and then I've got this cute little coffee piece. And again, my sentiment was pieced together using some kind of latte Lawn Fawn stamp set that I had in my stash. And I was just looking for something that had a fall vibe that was like the right size I was looking for my card. So that's going to go right down there at the bottom, and that card is done. I was planning on putting some enamel dots on there, but of course I forgot to do that on camera, so that happens quite a bit. So my last card is actually a card I'm going to use as stamp, and I'm going to be using the paper is a free gift from the virtual retreat that is upcoming soon. It's called Fall Life Plaids. And so I'm using this paper, and I'm going to show you how I'm using it in my card. And then I'm also using this stamp set, which is called Fall Days, and then this die set, which is called Simple Stitched Tree Borders from Lawn Fawn. So one of the ways that I like to use pattern paper, especially paper that is more of a background, is piecing that together and using it as part of the landscape. So for example, like if I had a blue plaid, it would be kind of fun to use as a sky. In this case, I actually used a cloud stencil, but you could also use, as I'm going to do here, the greenish plaid. I actually am using as my ground or my grass, and it's just a fun way of using your pattern paper, especially paper that is, you know, more for background rather than a focal point. So in this case, I'm going to be using this fun die set, and so the way that this one works is you cut these little circles and they just fit. They can either fit in front or behind. Either way is kind of cool. And again, I use that plaid paper to be the, you know, leaves for my card. So there's just fun ways that you can use a paper like this plaid. I just think it's fun and a good way of using your paper in kind of a different way than just as a background. So I'm going to go ahead and place all those there. I kind of was off a tiny bit. It's not a big deal. I'm going to have to trim a little paper off. You'll see. Not to worry. I mean, when you're on camera, like things don't go exactly because you're kind of like a little bit in a hurry, and you know, you don't always have everything ready to go, right? Because you're filming. So no worries there. I'm not too concerned. This actually probably need to be a little bit higher, but it's okay. And then here is what I'm using for sort of my ground. And I discovered that I really wanted more of the brown to show. So I ended up having to kind of trim a little bit off the bottom, and no big deal. And so then I kind of decided where I'm going to place all of my images. So I don't actually have the dies for this one. I don't think that this was before she had dies. So I had to hand cut these. So they're not perfect, but they look fine. And then I just did a little bit of gel pen, and I just do a lot of squiggles and dots, and I just kind of put it here or there. And really, when I'm in a hurry and I don't think about it, I tend to like the gel pen a little bit more. I like it a little bit more when I don't know what I'm doing. It just looks a little bit more natural, and once it's on a card, it really kind of pops. But I'm just throwing down some white gel pen, just a little bit, kind of needs it a tad, and so I'm just doing some quick little gelling right there on camera. I meant to do it a little sooner, but sometimes I do these cards over multiple days. This was only 2 days, so it's not too bad. But anyway, I'm kind of deciding. I kind of knew where I wanted to put everything, but kind of piecing it together a little bit. And so the pumpkins I'm actually gluing flat because my main images are going to kind of be on top of those, and they're on foam. So it just gives it a little bit of perspective. It looks like the pumpkins are kind of further away a little bit than they are this way. So it gives that kind of look. And there we go. I think it's adorable. So then I've got my 2 leaves. I didn't know what I did with that little leaf, but I did find it. And so the leaves kind of look like they're kind of floating around and floating off the trees kind of situation. And so I've got one up there, and then another one that's going to fit elsewhere. And that's my 3rd card, and I think it's absolutely adorable and fun. So here is this card right here. And again, all of these things are linked below if they're still available in the shop, as well as be sure to visit everyone else to get lots of fall fun ideas using Not Too Shabby Shop products. Thank you so much for watching. This is Sandy Creative Art.